I believe this incident alone smashes the Shia religion completely. Hassan giving bayah to Muawiyah, Shia religion, finished.
Okay, so I think somebody needs to explain to Adnan the difference between a peace treaty and a bay'ah, because this is very embarrassing, right? A bay'ah is allegiance, submission. A peace treaty is an agreement of peace. Yeah, two separate things. The Quran, for example, in chapter 49, verse number 9 states, if two group of believers fight, then make peace between them. Is this bay'ah? No. Quran chapter 8, verse 61 says, if they incline to peace, then incline to it also. Is this bay'ah? No, it's peace, right? So the Quran is explicit about accepting peace, even with disbelievers, without recognizing the opposition's legitimacy. So we also have the example of our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in an incident known as the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, where he entered into a treaty with Quraysh. He didn't give bayah to Abu Sufyan. He didn't recognize the Quraysh's authority. In fact, I dare any Sunni to come forward and say that our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave bayah to Quraysh at Hudaybiyah. And if you can't say that, then it means that the Prophet signed a peace treaty. So signing a treaty does not warrant allegiance. Now let's have a look and see what happened with Imam Hassan alayhi salam. So when it comes to the Prophet and he signs a treaty, no, it's not a bay'ah, it's a treaty. But when Imam Hassan signs a treaty, all of a sudden aql goes out the window and you're trying to portray a treaty as an allegiance. No, we look at Tarikh Tabari, Sunni book, written by a Sunni by the name of Tabari in volume 4 under the events of 41 AH. He quotes Imam Hassan alayhi salam himself as saying, Imam Hassan says, I did this, meaning the treaty with Muawiyah, to prevent bloodshed among the Muslims. No bay'ah has been mentioned by Imam al-Hassan. Bay'ah is unconditional obedience, by the way, right? So when Imam al-Hassan signed a treaty with Muawiyah, was there conditions? Yes, there was conditions and stipulations. So clearly, from Imam al-Hassan's perspective, this wasn't a bay'ah, because if it was, there would be no conditions. We look at a Sunni scholar by the name of Ibn Kathir in his book, which is titled Bidayah wa Nihaya, volume 8, under the chapter of the dhikr of the Sulh al-Hassan. So the title of the chapter is The Treaty of al-Hassan. Clearly shows you that it wasn't a bay'ah. What does he say? He says that reconciliation occurred between them, meaning Muawiyah and Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, on the condition that Muawiyah rule according to the book of Allah and the sunnah of his messenger. That doesn't really sound like bay'ah, Adnan. And also, Muawiyah broke the conditions of the treaty, therefore nullifying his right to rule. I mean, come on, Muawiyah led Jummah on a Wednesday, for crying out loud. You can't get any more against the sunnah of the Prophet than that. We look at another Sunni by the name of Ibn Athir. In his Kitab Kamil fi Tarikh, volume 3, he writes that this was, meaning between Al-Hassan and Muawiyah, he says this was a reconciliation, not a pledge of allegiance. So Adnan, at least check and see what your own scholars have said about the peace treaty that occurred between Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam and Muawiyah before exposing yourself and lying publicly. We look again, Tarikh Tabari, Sunni book, volume 4, under the events of the year 41 AH. It says, after the treaty that was signed between Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam and Muawiyah, Muawiyah then exposed himself, right? Muawiyah addressed the people of Kufa and he said, by Allah, I did not fight you so that you would pray or fast or perform hajj or give zakat. Rather, I fought you so that I might rule over you. Nowhere here does Muawiyah say Imam al-Hassan gave bay'ah to me. Why? Because it was a peace treaty. If Imam al-Hassan gave bay'ah, Muawiyah would have been shouting it from the rooftops, but he didn't. Then finally, here for the Shias, we look at Kitab al-Irshad by Shaykh al-Mufid. He quotes Imam al-Hassan himself as saying, I did not give Muawiyah allegiance, rather I made peace so that the believers would be spared. You can't get more clearer than that.